Hello. Let me see if I'm live. This, okay. Wait. How do I go to myself? I am live. Am I live? Okay, looks like I'm live. This is quite. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go live today because I just completed a recording, and I got overexcited a little bit. So my voice, as you can hear, is a little bit like torn a little bit. But anyway, I was thinking I wanted to share and answer some questions that I captured this week. So I thought, why not, right? And I have never tried going live directly like this using this app. So I'm actually not sure whether it will work because sometimes even scheduling also it doesn't really work that well. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, whoever was watching this live, and thank you for watching the replay if you do. Now, I'm Jason. If this is the first time we meet, welcome to my universe, whether you're watching this on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, as this week only on these two places. Thank you for joining me. What I do here is I go live every Sunday night answering questions about Facebook advertising and usually something more technical I prefer about optimization. So yeah, and I've been doing this for like 138. This is episode 138. Essentially, we do this almost every week. I think we skip like several weeks. Yeah, right. So yeah, but essentially been going live for over 2 years now. So this is a half an hour live usually, and I'll be answering questions. So if you have any questions about Facebook advertising, digital marketing in general, or like to be more specific, I'd love to have more questions about Facebook ads optimization questions from you. Like like give me your situations, like how do you bring the cost down and stuff like that. I love those kind of questions. So if you have any questions about Facebook advertising, especially, go to my YouTube channel. That's the first thing because I've actually posted over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel. Chances are I probably have answered a question in one way or another. So try to look for an answer over there. But it's okay if you can't find one because sometimes you just have some new questions or new situations pop up. Doesn't matter. Drop me a comment on any of my YouTube videos. All right. Then I'll be capturing the comment and I'll be answering your questions or your whatever situation or your inquiry in the following Sunday. Now, do not expect me to reply to your comment as in like, because first thing first, I'm not a chatter, first thing first. And I don't really believe in back and forth communication this way in answering questions, technical questions about Facebook advertising, because this is really something more technical and I prefer to go one-on-one, like live, answering questions face to face to you right away. So yeah, just pop your questions as a comment and come back on this following Sunday to listen to my answers. But if you can join me live like this, if you're here, you can just pop your questions in the chat. What I'll do is I'll go over the questions I have and I'll come back to your question right after this. Okay, so let me bring this up. So ask Jason anything. This is episode 138. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, so as I say, if you have any questions, just pop your questions as a comment. But just in case, if you have some like PNC questions or you have some pressing questions that you cannot wait for next week and all that, you just need Jason to look at the questions right now and give me some answers, give me some like pointers on what to do next. You can actually scan this QR code. It will take you to my Fiverr gig, and all you need to do is just buy the gig and you'll be able to schedule a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me. And in the Zoom call, we can do anything. We can share your screen, we can dive into your campaign, we can answer your questions or whatever it is. Just scan this QR code and follow the steps and everything will be fine. So yeah, that's in case you have some pressing ones, you just want to see me to really get my opinion or something like that. So that's for that. All right. So we've got like 4 questions here, not a lot. So I guess it's gonna be a short one. So the first one is coming from Nadwi Jaya. Okay, Nadi asked this question about like Facebook ads account restriction. So Nadu is saying currently your Facebook ad account and pages are permanently disabled, but you still have some prepaid balance on it. Can you retrieve it back? Technically, if you're able to contact Meta support, you should be able to request for a refund. But based on my understanding, it is not as straightforward because chances are if you have permanent restriction, you won't be able to talk to them. But hopefully you can still talk to them, raise a ticket with them and try to get back the money. But frankly speaking, I think it's kind of hard. Yeah. But I have got some, like friends who have gotten the money back from Meta before. Yes. Okay. Because they were hacked, then they were overly spent. I mean, the hackers spend the money at the credit card and all that. And and raised the ticket with Meta, and Meta actually kind of recognized the issue and they refunded the money to them. But it took a couple of months, I think. But yeah, try to talk to them seriously. Yeah, Nadri, it's not something that I can help anyway. So yeah, just try to raise the ticket. If you cannot find a way to raise the ticket, I guess that's kind of like the end of the road for you. I'm so sorry, because sometimes Meta can be really difficult to reach. So if you cannot find them, then probably we just have to say that, okay, well, next, I would like to totally recommend that in the future, when you run ads, go for a postpaid account, meaning you set a credit card with them and they charge you off after you spend the money. That actually gives you more control, in my opinion. So yeah, I would actually recommend that. So go for that. Okay. Yep. Then the next question is coming from Yusuf. So Yusuf is saying this is about how to avoid getting fake leads. So yeah, in terms of getting fake leads is really something very common. If you run lead gen ads, especially, it's very easy to get fake leads. I mean, you call them and say that, how do you get my number? I never submit this. This is the wrong one. I wrongly pressed this thing, but actually nonsense. We know that, right? Because there are steps that they need to go through in order to submit the lead. But then again, because sometimes lead gen on Facebook can be too easy. So even a couple of clicks, they probably just click it and forgot about it. So it's really something that concerns a lot of Meta advertisers. But then again, in what we do is usually when we have this kind of situation, the quick tweak will be actually adding some extra fields to it, like asking some extra questions. That would usually reduce the number of fake leads quite significantly. I wouldn't say fake leads sometimes. I mean unintentional leads or accidental leads. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the situation. If you do have that, then you can actually apply a few more questions. But we don't want to go overboard, because sometimes when you ask too many questions, then eventually you get too little leads and your cost per lead will become very high. So that's something that we want to avoid altogether as well. So try to actually strike a balance in between. I would actually recommend to go for like maybe not more than 3 questions. That's ideal. So yeah, and the questions shouldn't be too complicated. So what we usually do is you can actually use the drop down and a short answer kind of questions. And that should actually help you reduce the number of so-called, well, unintentional or accidental leads. Okay, so that's that. Thanks, Yusuf, for sharing this, because Yusuf shared his experience about adding these, and he got real leads. Congratulations, Yusuf, and all the best, and keep them running. Okay, now next we have a couple of questions coming from the MVP Gamer. So I'm gonna go with first one first, because these two actually asked on different videos. That's why they are not back to back. So but I think it's quite interesting to answer this question. So we have to go from the bottom, because that was the first question. So first, MVP Gamer asked, your Meta Business Suite account is restricted. If you delete the Meta Business account, can you still get full control of the page? Now, when it comes to restriction, there are many kind of restriction. We do not know whether this is a permanent restriction on the Meta Business Suite, or it's a restriction that it affects already your page. First, you should try to untie your page from your Meta Business Suite or your Meta Business Manager first. If you're able to do that, then chances are you are still able to get a page back. Otherwise, you should, if it's a very deeply tied kind of restriction, then you probably won't be able to untie the page from the Business Manager. So in that case, right, it's kind of done. It's there and then, so it's actually the best thing, but not the best thing, the worst thing. So yeah, so I want you to actually dive in and see what kind of restriction you have. So try to go in and click on whatever restrictions and click on whatever buttons available. Try to go in and see what kind of restriction you have. And if you still have the option to submit ID or whatever to request for a review, go through that, because that's the best way. We want to try to save as much as we can, because if you're able to get it back, the whole thing, the business Meta Business Manager, will be the best situation. But then again, we have to see, so try to go through that. And yeah, so if you cannot, then the next thing is try to untie the page to see whether you're able to do that. If you can, then yes, probably you can still delete them. You probably can't delete a permanently restricted Meta Business Manager, but you can still try. So at least the page is still safe. You can actually do that. Otherwise, if you can untie, that's kind of the end of it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Now, the next following question is, if you delete the Meta Business Suite, what will happen to the page under it? Nothing. The page will become owned by the person, as in the individual who actually created it. in the first place. It will fall back to the people. If it's not owned by the Meta Business Manager, it will fall back to the, if it's not owned by the business manager, it will fall back to the individual owner, as in the personal account. Yeah, that's usually what will happen. But then again, seriously, I won't be able to give you a very like that kind of like, oh, this is it kind of answer, because I really have to look at your situation, because we have to dive into your Meta Business Manager or Meta Business Suite and see what are the buttons available, what are the things there, what are the messages there, and what are the, like whatever it is, to really know where you are at right now, so that we can actually give you the recommendation of what to do next. But I've already given you the steps you can try. But if you have tried them more and you still can't seem to figure it out and kind of like navigate it out, you can actually scan this QR code and you'll be able to just purchase this gig. It's a Fiverr gig. And then you'll be able to schedule a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call, so that we can actually have a Zoom call, 30-minute Zoom call. We dive into the questions, we dive into your situation, and hopefully to be, we're able to find a solution for your problem right away. So that's what we will do. Okay, yeah, scan this QR code and we'll be able to do that. All right, thanks for the question. Then we have a question from Tony. Tony said, your Facebook ad account has been banned permanently. Instead of using your family account, is it advisable to create a new Facebook account under the same profile? A new Facebook ad account under the same profile. If you can, of course, you can try. Because, yeah, like I say, there are many kind of permanent restriction. The easiest is only permanently restricted on the ad account, meaning you as individual, you can still create Meta Business Manager, you can still create multiple ad accounts, you can still do advertising fundamentally, but you want to know whether you're at the worst case scenario, which is your profile is being permanently restricted from running ads. So that's the end of it. But having said that, Tony, try to create a new one, because that's the easiest way to find out whether you can still create a new one. If you cannot, then probably that's the end of it. So if your profile is permanently restricted, the only thing is you have to borrow someone else's profile to recreate a Meta Business Manager, create a Facebook page and start running ads, and create a new ad account to start running ads. That's what we usually do. So you try to do that first. If you can do that, then maybe you're in the luck, So just go through that and start running ads right away. Don't need to wait. But if you can't, then you have to probably go for the next round. Yeah, Tony, thanks. Next, I have a very important question that I want to answer. This is actually a question from my, because I have multiple gigs on Fiverr where I actually get questions from people from all around the world. Some ask me questions about permanent restrictions. Some ask me questions about like their campaign. So there's a guy who came to me, book a gig to get me to review their campaign. So he asked me one very important question: how to lower Facebook ads cost. So when your Facebook ads cost is really something that, first you have to understand the structure of Facebook ads cost. How Facebook charge you for Facebook advertising. First thing first, your real Facebook ads cost is your CPM, right? So CPM means cost per 1,000 impression, meaning every 1,000 times they show your ad to your audience, they charge you an on-block kind of pricing. And this is a fluctuating price. So sometimes cheaper, sometimes higher, depending on your audience targeting, your objective and whatnot. So that's one thing. Now, once you have been reaching your audiences and all that, then we have CTR coming in, and from there, we will be people taking action or not taking action. So your cost per result, Facebook ad cost per result is actually an average cost per result, okay? Dividing on how much you spend, divided by how many results you get. So that's the average cost per result. So how can we bring the cost per result down? There are multiple angles to look into this. Basically, first thing first, I want to give you this idea of Facebook ads optimization. First thing first, it has to be applied on advertisement of Facebook ads that has been running for a while, meaning has been at least a week or two, right? So this is an existing campaign. You're already seeing some traction. You just feel that, if I bring this cost down, I'll be more profitable. And you want to actually see if there's any way to bring the cost down. So let me give you multiple angles to look at that. First, we have this Facebook ad cost is usually related to multiple things. We have first the on-ad optimization. Now, let me give you some example about on-ad optimization. There are a few things you can actually look into. One of a possible way to bring down the cost per result is to improve your performance of your ad creative. For example, if you see your ad CTR, your ad creative CTR is at maybe like 0.5%, which is okay, can be better. The benchmark is 1%. Just imagine if you test different creative and different copywriting and all that, and you manage to increase the CTR from 0.5 to 1%, for example. So that means what? You actually double the number of clicks you get. With the amount you spend, because the ad performs better, doubles the amount of clicks you get. And with that, potentially, like assuming everything else remain unchanged, you can possibly get double the result down the road without spending more money. So that's how you can actually one of the ways to lower your Facebook ads cost by increasing your ad creative performance. So that's one. So what are the other things that we can actually look into when it comes to the on ads optimization? It could be your CPM. Maybe we test different objective, or maybe we dive into the number and see, actually Instagram works better. So we move more money into Instagram, then eventually we see better results from there, no? So that's how we can potentially get more results from there. So this is on ads optimization, the possibilities, that you can actually look into now. Then we can actually look at the off ads optimization. Now, what do you mean by off-ad optimization? Say, for example, if you see very good number of people who landed on your website, but very few people actually added to cart. So what does that mean? That means you either brought in the wrong people, hopefully not, or maybe your landing page was not, like simple enough to help your audience understand what do you want them to do. Like you want them to click this to add to cart, or you give them too much information, and eventually you got them lost somewhere browsing with the long pages and all that. So that's one possibility that we can actually try to fix. Okay, and imagine when we have, let's say, we have 1,000 people landed on the landing page, but we improve the percentage of people added to cart by 50%. That means what? Because you have 50% more added to cart, do you think you might get 50% more sales? That is another way to reduce or actually to lower your Facebook ads cost. So when it comes to Facebook ads optimization, it's really something very interesting and fun. But then again, remember the whole framework here is this. We don't want to make decisions or do changes blindly. First, we need to identify the opportunity. So that involves a lot of, like analytics and diving into the numbers and all that. We draw a list of opportunities, and then after that, we build hypotheses and we test them one variable at a time. So it's really a very meaningful process for every advertisers or Facebook advertisers to learn, because that helps you lift yourself up and to be able to see the Facebook ads campaign from a bird's eye view, which is a very important thing. And then it helps you understand the connections between metrics, and it helps you make decisions. Depending on the analytics that you have. So it's a very interesting process. So if you are running ads and you want to know what can you do to optimize your campaign, to lower your Facebook ads cost, to get better results, get more sales, get more leads at the lower cost, everything starts from analyzing your existing campaign. So if that's something that you want to do, I invite you to scan this QR code. That will bring you to my Fiverr gig, where you can actually purchase this gig and then schedule a 30-minute one-on-one with me. From there, it's a Zoom call. So what we're going to do in the Zoom call is we're going to dive into your campaign. We're going to see what's working or what's not working with your campaign. And I'm going to give you 3 to 5 action steps that you can potentially test to see whether are they able to help you improve your campaign performance. So, but fundamentally, the 30 minutes is going to help you gain clarity about like what's working, what's not working, and to help you learn how to look at the numbers, and to really make decision and draw a plan from there. So yeah, so if that's what you want to do, if that's what you would like to find out more on your Facebook ads campaign, scan this QR code and I will look forward to work with you on the other side. Okay, now, though that's that, let me look at some comments coming in. Okay, right. Hi, everyone. Hi, Akram. How are you? Thanks for joining me. And then we have another one. This is from Nahawa Agency. So Nahawa Agency is asking, can I explain about campaign budget optimization? Campaign budget optimization. I believe you're talking about like Advantage Plus budget optimization, which is at the campaign level. Now, basically, like budget optimization or budgeting, so-called budget planning or budget setting. There are 2 places that you can actually set your budget. You can choose to set your budget at the campaign level, whereby, let's say if you set your budget at the campaign level, meaning when you have multiple ad sets within the same campaign, what Facebook is going to do is they're going to distribute your budget according to what they believe they can get you more results at the lower cost, theoretically. So some of the ad sets might get more budget, some of the ad sets might not. So there will be a kind of like all this adjustment on the fly. The the algorithm is going to do the adjustment for you and all that. So yeah, so you give up to the AI to make decision. Now, on the other hand, there will be another way of doing the budget settings, which is at the ad set level. That's what I like to do because I would like to have the full control of adjusting the campaign budget from time to time. You get what I mean? Meaning, like, if I know this is doing well, then I would like to be able to scale it. And if I know that this is not working, I want to be able to kind of adjust it. And there will be situations where I have a retargeting campaign. I only want to spend minimal budget on it. I want to be able to have full control on it. So that's what I'll do. So theoretically, this is how I would actually look at the campaign budget optimization and the ad set budget optimization. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the question. Now, the next is coming from Patrick. Patrick's asking, what is more salvageable? Does a suspended account also affect the business account, or you just delete the suspended ad account and the business account will work as normal as before? You cannot delete an ad account. You cannot. You can only kind of like deactivate it and all. So yeah, I mean, basically, if you have a lot of suspended account, it might actually leave stain on your business manager account. That's why we want to do our best to avoid all these suspend, ban, restrictions and all that situations happening to our ad account. That's what I think. Okay, Patrick? Now, Akram is asking, from my experience, has there ever been a business where Facebook ads just weren't working no matter what you did? Yeah, of course. Yeah, they are. I mean, certain businesses are not just meant for, I mean, frankly speaking, for example, for my business right now, as in right now, Facebook ads doesn't work for me because currently I'm no longer doing all these free webinars already. I'm only doing this for my inner circle, as in like those who are in my email list and all that. I do have like free training. I just did one with them about like an hour ago. I mean, I don't do this to the public anymore. So if I don't do this, there is no reason for me to run ads. Because if currently I do a lot of optimization program and coaching one-on-one with my clients. So for this kind of program, it doesn't really work for me to advertise because I will be reaching a lot of people who are not ready for this. So instead, my framework works better on YouTube. So YouTube gets me all these leads coming in strong and good enough on a weekly and daily basis. So that's how I actually get to connect with my clients that I really want to work with. So I don't run ads anymore. So for my case, yeah. So yes, you're right. There are situations where there are some businesses that cannot really work. I mean, don't really work well on Facebook, especially if you're selling something that is complex and your audiences are not just not on Facebook. Then yeah, it might happen. Okay. All right, Akram, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me. So, all right. So I think that's pretty much about it. These are all the questions I have. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, this is what I do. If you have any questions, you just pop your questions in any of my YouTube videos as a comment, and I'll pick them up and answer in the following week. Otherwise, join me on Sunday night like this, and we can actually have a quick chat. All right. I guess that's it. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next week. Okay. And have a fantastic week ahead. Good night. Bye.